Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. That sucked. So Jets fall 3-2 to the Calgary Flames in regulation to drop. But it was their first game in a while. This is the first time we've lost to Calgary clean. That's unfortunate. They moved to 7-4-1, and they are fourth place in the division. They're really third though. Edmonton's on us by 1 point, and they've played like 3 or 4 more games, so we'll see about that. And we play Ottawa next 2 games, so here's hoping. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this game. This game made me feel uneasy the entire way through. It's funny. There was a part of me that was really excited about this game. The lines they showed. I'm not even gonna just say new lines. I'm going to tell you the starting lines if you missed it. Cause my God Almighty, they are something glorious. Kopp, Scheifele, Ehlers, Vesalainen, Stastny, Wheeler, Connor, Dubois, Lewis, Perreault, Lowry, Appleton. Now, they switched Lewis to the fourth line with Appleton in the second period. I loved all of these lines because it pretty much says, I was talking to Peg City about this, and we both agreed, we just want, you just want to have that moment where you see all of the Jets' depth, and you're just like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's just put them in a blender and see what the hell shoots out. And having Vesalainen play with Wheeler and Stastny was good. It didn't get many results, but there were a couple chances, especially early on in the game. And I think, honestly, getting Vesalainen more familiar with being a main roster player is key if you want to really help his development. So I hope to see more of him. Appleton did all his job that he was fine. I like it. I'm a big Appleton fan. He works hard. He did well. So this game, there was a lot of nervousness because, one, we got those new lines, so a lot of players are playing with players they haven't played much with in the past. Pierre-Luc Dubois' first game, so obviously, especially hearing about how public the results have been so far with Line and Roslick, there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Pierre-Luc Dubois to perform, which I hope he doesn't take too personal, because honestly, he shouldn't care about how the other two are doing, because I've said it before I talked about this in the last episode of No One Hockey Podcast, so please go check it out, but there's more moving pieces than just the people in the trade that are affected by the trade. It's not just him. He was a -1 this game. Not really. He was on the ice, though, for the power play goal, I think. Because that would have been the second unit, so he should have been on the ice for that. But that doesn't give you a plus. But anyway, no, I was fine with this game, honestly. He just seemed rusty to me. Because you think about how long the Jets hadn't played a game, and just double the fact for Pierre-Luc Dubois, who hadn't played a game even longer than that. And I think, especially going from a series where, we had, 5 games in, 8 days or something like that, to now where we had to pretty much wait about 5 days, I would say. It showed. It was rusty. It was really rusty. Actually, if I'm being honest, I'm happy that we got out of that first period 0-0, because Calgary probably could have had about 3 chances to put the puck in the net. Wheeler makes a great defensive play on one where Sam Bennett gets so in the clear, I was a little concerned.
Is that the one that he went cross crease?
He just walked in. Walked in, and I'm like, and it was weird because Hellebuyck played well. I think, though, that Hellebuyck on some of them looked like he didn't really know where the puck was, and it kind of just felt like there was a force field around the net. The puck would bounce, you'd lose sight of it, and then all of a sudden it'd be in the corner or off. It just didn't go, and it'd be like, okay, sure. I don't know what that was, but it worked. But no, yeah, it took us a while to settle in. Forbert took a slashing penalty. I've noticed this a bit now. Forbert is starting to take more defensive penalties. And it's funny because he's taking penalties that we can't really blame him for taking because he's back-checking on them. But also, he's a defenseman. There's an easier way to backcheck as a defenseman is just don't get caught behind the play. He needs to be a little more proactive in his decision-making on that. And honestly, that's just a minor criticism. It just means we'd be shorthanded less. And don't worry, we'll get to that part. We'll get there. It's a journey. Free phrase, I don't know how to say it. Winkler Manitoba native, actually. Takes a tripping penalty on Logan Stanley. We don't score in it. Then Sam Bennett almost scores. And honestly, that's the first period. It was a lot of nothing. Like, I didn't see... There was no shot counter on my TV for the first period. But it felt really bland, I would say. Like, it just felt like nothing really was going on. Everyone was just trying to get settled, honestly. Which is weird, because Calgary didn't... Like, Calgary played, 2 nights ago against Edmonton. So, I don't know why they were so slow. But I was okay with that. Second period, you had a chance early. It was a shot that he took that kind of generated an opportunity to score, which led to Monahan taking a hooking penalty, which led to the first goal of the game. Nikolai Ehlers snipes on the power play to give the Jets a 1-0 lead. Right there. Yeah! Woohoo! That way! Woo! This was great. Ehlers staying hot is something that I cannot stress enough how key it is to the future of this team, because Ehlers, I think, has the potential to be the best player on the Jets in a couple of years. And he's definitely better, well-rounded than Kyle Connor, I would say. He's better defensively than Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. And that it comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody who knows advanced stats. If you don't know advanced stats, Kyle Connor does not play defense. Really. Kyle Connor plays defense the same way Dmitry Kulikov played offense. Oh, yeah. That bad. Carter gave me a glare there like, oh, sweet Jesus, not like that. Yeah, it's like that. Not long after, though, Mangiapane, again, this frickin' menace, taps in a weird bouncing puck to tie the game. Nothing really Hellbuck can do on this. The puck just kind of gets to the net. Action there.
Son of a bitch! Yeah!
Of course it's him. He's had a lot of chances against us.
Fuck.
That's worse! He's always there! Mangiapane is kind of like the Flames version of that grinder guy. It's really freaking annoying. Guy's a menace. Yes. Oh, not the Lucic line. Not the Lucic line. After that, I noticed Pierre-Luc Dubois started to have some good shifts. A lot more where I could see him. He was making passes. He made a great pass to Kyle Connor in the neutral zone, which it's good to see, because you're getting a guy, you're trading it for a two-way player, so to see him do two-way player things is great to see. But then this happened. So, good shift, another good shift, then a dreadful shift in the second period, where we forced them to ice it, and then we ourselves got hemmed in our own zone after holding the puck in their end for about 2.5 minutes. And I kind of was just like, what the hell? And then that leads, obviously, to phrase. If I'm saying it wrong, sorry. Because it's funny, I wrote it down as it's written, but I knew it wasn't how it sounded, which was my mistake. Deflection, deflects in a puck to make it 2-1 for the Flames. Hellbuck, no chance. Reaction there. We had 2 good shifts, we had a bad shift, and then we got scored on. There's a double screen on this, and it's a high screen to boot, so just, if anyone knows geometry and stuff like that, and just fucking how shadows work. The higher the screen is out, the less you can see if it's there.
I was about to go check on something, and then I heard you start talking about geometry.
Geometry and fucking shadows.
What the hell is going on here?
But no. Yeah, so it was 2-1 for the Flames at that point. Not long after that, though, tic-tac-toe Ehlers. Ehlers would score again to make it a tie game. Oh, go, you got numbers! Wow! What a goal! Ehlers! Ah! Woo! Fuck yeah. No, fuck you, shut up! That's my reaction to somebody telling me that we're... Oh, it's offside. There's no chance that's offside. We're fucking good, boys. Get going. He wants to make sure I keep signaling because I forget because I have ADHD and I don't remember anything. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of the second. Like, it felt better. It felt like it was moving a lot quicker at a better pace. The lines seemed to be connecting a lot more on passes. And then the third period happened. The third period is quite possibly the most afraid period I've ever seen the Jets play. It wasn't like they were killing us, but it seemed like we were playing so nervous with the puck. Appleton gets a chance early. And Pierre-Luc Dubois settling in. I have it. Yeah, he was settling in. He was trying to throw hits out there. He only had one registered hit, but you could tell he was trying to move his body to force plays to happen, which was good. You want that. Guys look nervous. Attack the blue line when it's in your own end. There was a couple times where our guys, I think because we were worried that we would screen Connor Hellebuyck, which is ironic considering how these goals went in on Connor Hellebuyck, that we would just not go to the blue line. So we'd almost give them the free shot, which is like, no. Like, get down. Like, I almost want them to commit to the block. Because if it's that far out, Hellebuyck still has time to react to an extent, and you gotta help your goalie there. Like, don't give them a free shot. Forbert getting caught flat-footed, yup. We're moving through this game pretty briskly, but that's okay. There's a cross-check on Morrissey from Sam Bennett. Doesn't get called. I know why it didn't get called, because it was behind the play. It not being called at the time, I was okay with. Hindsight, though, I'm fucking furious. Because it's a cross-check, and it hurts. It looked, he pretty much sat on it and dug it in, and I'm like...
cross-check.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Not long after that, Beaulieu takes a high sticking on Johnny Gaudreau. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? The Jets commentators were a bit biased in this, and I'll own that, okay? They were like, well, with all the calls missed and stuff like that, but it sounds like they could really only mention the Morrissey penalty as an example of when they should have been called, because honestly, I don't think the reffing was that bad. I just think that the fact of the timely penalty against us makes it look a lot worse than it is.
I thought the reffing overall was pretty good.
It was alright. Yeah, no, it was
I thought it was just the one thing at the end where
it's just in the third period.
Some question marks start to arise.
The thing is as this period went on, it became more and more apparent that this game seemed destined to have it go to an overtime. Or it was a very skittish type game. So I think the referees thought, if we can not call as much now, we cannot decide it. But they had to technically call that high sticking because Gaudreau literally stopped in the middle of the neutral zone and just went. And I went, It doesn't get a lot of them. And the commentators were biased here. The commentators were like, and you'd think after all that maybe they wouldn't call that. I don't know how much it hits them. And I'm like, yeah, guys, but it hit him. It hit him in the face. Like, he's not bleeding, but it hit him. Like, he's not supposed to not react.
Yeah.
It's a stick in the face. When you get slapped, when I slap you in the face, do you just go like this? No, you go, ow, what? It doesn't matter if it hurt or not. You're still going to go like this and cover it. So don't blame a guy for reacting to it. But at the same time, it's annoying after the Morrissey miss. At the time, I understand. Afterwards, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And also, for anyone not wondering, that's why, that is what the thumbnail means, is you getting caught red-handed with that high sticking. That's what it means. Because he got caught in the crossfire and they had to gun him down.
Yeah, I think the problem is just the consistency.
Well, no,
Like,
it's
at
not,
that-
it's
at that-
hindsight.
Consistency at that point, though, in the sense of if you're going to call this, then why are you calling this? And, like,
But they have to call high stick. High
I know.
sticking is like delay of game. You have to call it.
I know, but people are also saying that, you also have to call that cross-check if you're going to call something like that.
Yeah, but they didn't know they were going to call something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can be. Because if I
I'm just
become
saying-
a biased fuckwit, nobody wants to listen to the village idiot who just wants some shit to
I'm
say.
just saying that's what people are.
I
concerned.
understand that,
Yeah.
but some people are wrong. As my math teacher told me, some people are wrong. He was saying it looking at my test, but that doesn't matter. I'm kidding, of course. I was a great student in math for most of the time. In elementary. That leads to Elias Lindholm on my fantasy team. Scoring on the power play late in the third.
Driving to the net, but the high stick gets called.
No, no.
After Beaulieu just gets it up on Johnny Gaudreau. Centered back to the line. Rasmus Anderson dishes it off. Shot score! Elias Lindholm. And a late power play goal has the Flames in front by one. Yeah, with traffic, this is just not moving on the perimeter as you feel the frustration from players, the coaches from the Jets as that late
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
call. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, some of the calls that were let go, we talked earlier, that was a tough one to swallow, no doubt about it here, but a little give and go from low to high. Rasmus Anderson feels the lane shut right down, a shot innocently from the half wall.
You're loving that fantasy team, aren't you?
Your reaction scared the shit out of me. They just saw it.
Oh yeah.
You just went, fuck, and I went, we're doing it. It was like, and it was at that moment, he was back in 1972, Vietnam. I don't know when the Vietnam War ended. It's the one war I don't know about.
I would play the song, but just in case this video gets copyrighted in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When does Days of Future Past take place in? That's the end of the Nam War. And honestly, despite our best efforts, the Jets will fall 3-2. And this was bound to happen. The good news is that we play Ottawa next. The bad news is if you fuck this up and lose to Ottawa, I will hate you. Because you now are 7-4-1.
We should sweep Ottawa.
You have a 3-game lead on not being even. And in this division, apparently it's hard to stay above 500, for God's sake. What the hell, Vancouver? I said this the other day. I'm like, well, as long as they don't lose again. That's what I said on the podcast.
Yeah.
As long as they don't lose and they get away with this here. They didn't. They're like 6-10. That is fucking dreadful. But anyway, I digress. So let's go to top performers of this game. Top 3. This one was hard to do because if I'm looking at the scoring, it was centered around the same guys pretty much getting goals and points here. I will say Hellebuyck has to go in there because I literally can't blame him on any of the goals through deflections or screens or just a bad bounce in front. Hellebuyck has to get Hellebuyck has to get number 1 because he literally, I don't think, did anything wrong. He looked a little shaky in the first period, but everyone looked a little shaky in the first period, so I cut him up right there.
Any goals in the first period though too. So.
Yeah, but he seemed a bit lost. As a goalie, I noticed this. Like, just because I don't get scored on in the first period doesn't mean I feel fucking good about it.
Oh,
I'll be like, yeah, buddy, I played like shit. But it's 0-0. We're okay. But anyway, Hellbook has to get number 1. So I just went straight to number 1. But honorable mention, Christian Vesalainen, I'd say. Because he is trying to make himself more noticed on the ice with the time he has on the ice. So that's good. Third, Andrew Kopp put up 2 assists. And he's really trying to keep solidifying himself as a top 6 player, and I like that a lot. And number 2 has to be Nikolai Ehlers because the dude got 2 goals. Like, it has to be him. He's continuously being our best player. Really, so it has to be him. But honestly, like, I don't have too much to say about this game. But then again, neither did most people until the 3rd period. So, that's alright.
Until 2 minutes left in the third period.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
You will remember this forever. It will haunt
But no,
you. It will follow you.
honestly, like, not much else to say. Thank you for watching this video. Also just a couple things I would say. If you haven't already, if you want to see us react to other things, go check out some of the other videos released, like Mandalorian episodes. One that is
almost at 1,000.
I know.
The finale.
It's so exciting, isn't it?
992.
People care. They care.
And YouTube will not
Also-
steal it from us this time.
Yes. Also, if you know friends, send them here. Send them.
We have open arms.
We have open doors.
Bring them in. We will see.
Bring them in.
We'll bring them in. We will
Give me your cold, your whatever the thing it says in the statue
You're
of
tired. You're weak.
Yeah. We will raise you up. Anyway,
and we will come together and
sorry,
sing Kumbaya.
sorry, I had a communist moment there.
Oh, I see.
Anyway. Photoshop's Bernie Sanders next to me. But anyway. No, seriously. We're trying to get to 200. Maybe by at least like the end of the month. I would say it's February 10th. That's reasonable.
We're working on that Rebels video, so check
Yes,
out our season.
we're getting there. We're getting there. If you like Star Wars content, go check out a bunch of our stuff.
Okay, we're good. Sorry.
Did it cut
Nope,
out?
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh
It
god.
was low battery.
Not again.
No, it's fine.
But anyway, no, go check out our Star Wars content stuff. Give it a quick leave a like on it, just like this
And
video.
our most recent Nolan Hockey podcast.
Yes, for sure. Where we talk about lining and all that stuff. But thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below your thoughts on the game. Honestly, even if you don't agree with me on some of the stuff, tell me about it. Be nice about it, but just tell me about it, like. But do say. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Nolan Hockey Podcast. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. And remember, we lost, but have some goddamn faith.
Have some goddamn faith!